Hey everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tech Talk here at Caliente Harley-Davidson. I'm Service Manager Derek. With me as always is...
Phil Sims, Master Mechanic.
Chris England, Master Mechanic.
And we are the hosts of Tech Talk. Today I've got a little plan here. We're going to talk about handlebar installation on the bikes. But first, thankfully, all of you out there that did watch and commented, we actually have some comments and questions that we want to go through. So we'll roll these out and have a little discussion on these if the guys don't mind. The first one I think is one of the critical ones for Tech Talk. I would assume you agree. There was a question asked, is the black and white shirt I was wearing available in store? And as long as we don't trip over the cable... Yes, it is in store.
120th anniversary.
And available.
So you can pick that one up here at Caliente Harley-Davidson. They are on the shelf along with some other 120 anniversary items. So thank you for that question. I know we like to wear the gear from here.
Absolutely.
I like your onesie.
I like your onesie.
Thank you, Chris.
I don't wear onesie anymore. I grew out of it when I was 4.
You're missing out.
Oh man, so much room.
So much room.
It's called team building.
And that, of course, is the voice from the background, known only as Nick.
Also not wearing a onesie.
But he has one. I have seen it.
I do have one. I forgot. I didn't know what day it was, and
that is no excuse. You have not had a difficult week at all. I've heard it went smooth. Super smooth.
Not difficult at all.
Well, you had Phil and Chris here to help you
Exactly.
So,
and
They would be the only ones that know how much I walked back there and just stood there and silently screamed.
Did you hold him?
we're the perfect role model.
Yes, we supported him very much.
Awesome.
Consoled him.
Okay, well, I'm glad that we're very sensitive in the shop. And Nick, I'm glad you're feeling better now. So on to the next question, statement. Not sure what this one's. Comment. I guess this is going along with when we brought up the subject of maintenance things that are commonly overlooked. Right. The comment was fork oil. So I think they were trying to tell us that fork oil might be something that is neglected on the bike steering maintenance, which I can see that. However, my opinion, you guys could have a different one possibly. Fork oil is done at certain intervals depending on the bike, or if there's some sort of leak or damage.
Correct.
Would you agree?
100%.
Absolutely.
So do you see a benefit in just changing fork oil randomly, or would you follow the recommended Harley maintenance
Always
intervals?
follow the recommended Harley-Davidson recommended maintenance.
See, now you're talking like me.
I am. Look at me go. No, absolutely. Or, of course, when there's a leak and we rebuild. And obviously, during the intervals, I just suggest completely rebuilding the forks, getting a fresh set
that's
of
a good
bushings.
point. Yeah, I'm not a fan of just the drain and fill.
No.
Because the rebuild kits have the bushings in them and everything you need to do it correctly. And for the minimal extra bit of money and little bit of labor, it's worth it because you've got basically a new fork set up. And how many times have you found something deeper in there when you've actually pulled it apart? It's like, oh, the bottom's full of garbage because it was leaking. Because, the oil may be coming out, but that means crap's getting in it too. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
Agree.
I also don't like rebuilding just one fork. If you get a leak on one side, do them both.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The fork oils, the fluid, viscosity,
you don't buy your shoes one at a time?
I think is going to be different on the old fork, the 40,000 mile fork. I also wouldn't wait till 50,000 miles. I tend to do it at 10,000 early. Also, 40,000 mile service is not as big a service as the 50,000 mile service. So you might spread out your cost a little bit.
Or save that huge headache of doing fork oil and buy a Springer because they're so maintenance free. Is that what you would? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Have you seen the way that is a sexy motorcycle? It looks good.
And there are different forks out there. You may know that Harley has a lot of conventional forks, which is springs, dampener rods, just dump the fluid and go. But we also do cartridge. We have the new adjustable ones on the Pan American models. I promise I won't talk Pan Americas today. I was told that we talk Pan Americans too much. Still like Pan Americans, don't care. So that also changes your intervals. It's not, oh yeah, you do them every 30,000 miles on every single Harley-Davidson. It's not the case. It varies depending on the year and model of your Harley. So check with your service advisor, or if you have your own service manual, look for those intervals because they are important to follow. Any other interests on fork oil there, guys?
No, I think that about covers it.
Covers everything.
It's a lovely odor, by the way, the fork oil.
Fish oil.
That's how you know it's good. Then the next statement is chicken wire. So I've only been a mechanic for 16 years or whatever, and I guess I'm not an experienced mechanic to know what chicken wire is. The only thing I could figure was safety wire on the racetrack. Yeah. That's kind of what I was going with, but I don't have a lot of maintenance around that.
And we just, in general, you don't use safety wire. We
for
don't.
Normal street
Harleys
bikes?
don't.
For normal
maybe
street bikes.
So I don't know if they were that may have been one of your comments of that's a shot at us somehow, or it's something beyond what we understand.
Or sound like a chicken on the wire.
Or we don't understand. And expand in the next comment
Yes,
section.
please comment with something else. Maybe just give us a little more detail so we can respond to chicken wire. We did have a question, though, that I thought was actually a pretty good one because we talked tire pressure. When will TPMS, the tire pressure monitoring systems, come standard on all models? Well, Harley always consults with us. They consult with us on everything.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
we know everything rolling out over the next, 15, 20 years?
Harley-Davidson's a very secretive
we find
operation.
out when you all find out. So when that thing hits the website and we go, wow, you guys just went, wow, at the exact same time. They are growing. I mean, go back to, 10 years ago, we started seeing them pop up in the Bagger CVO line. And now we've got them in all the touring models.
All touring models starting in 21.
Yep. All of the Revolution Max platform on specials. And then we haven't seen them in the Softails yet. So maybe this person's riding a Softail and they're questioning what it is. I do know historically they don't retro. So I don't anticipate you being able to bolt it onto an older motorcycle. There are some aftermarket ones out there you can do that connect to apps on phones.
I don't like those because usually it's a valve cap that you're getting your pressure from. If you're I don't like that style.
I had one that it was smacking the caliper.
Well, you're basically giving it another leak point.
Yeah.
So I don't like it. If it's inside the wheel like a traditional car one, okay, I'd give it a shot. But don't do the ones that are screw on the valve cap. That's
Chris taking shots at the aftermarket. All right,
I just don't like that. If aftermarket is fine. I don't like that in particular.
Address your problem letters to Chris at Caliente. So the tire pressure monitoring system, though, it is growing on more and more bikes, and you don't need the big fancy head unit radios to see it. Now they've got it built into the odometers on the smaller bikes.
And usually when you see it all standard on the baggers, that's usually their platform. You start seeing it trickle down to other models.
So there's not a Softail at all that has a...
Not that I know of.
Not that we could find.
Hey, world, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. It's quite possible. And no Harley people chiming in going, yeah, there's one coming out next year, you idiot. No, what's currently on the market right now. So I don't know of a Softail model that has them.
I don't either. And just for those people, when your TPMS light comes on, first thing to do, check your tire pressure.
And it's not a pressure sensor. It actually uses a calculation to figure it out. So it has a lot to do with the ambient temperature. There's math involved. So keep adding until it goes away.
36 front, 40 rear.
Oh, man. Born and bred.
On touring. Not on... Well,
I don't know about your guys' bike, but on my bike, the moment that it is below the recommended pressure, it loses its mind.
Oh, you're bringing it in.
It's worried about you, buddy. It's worried about you.
What kind of bike is that, Nick?
The one we're not supposed to talk about.
Oh, okay. No, we can talk about it. We're just not going to keep talking about it. So, but those were great comments and questions. So thank you for those. Please keep them coming because they keep us talking and we have these discussions. Whether you all are listening or not, this is the stuff we're talking about. Anyway.
And thank you for watching.
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate it.
the polite one.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
Did you watch?
I have not watched it. I have a hard time watching myself. I look goofy.
I critiqued.
I watched a little bit of it. I'm with Phil. I have trouble watching myself.
See, make sure you like it.
Real fan right here.
Yeah.
Nick, did you watch?
Because I had to.
Oh. Support staff? We're getting nods, folks.
Do we have follow buttons? Is there a follow?
We do. And
you got to do the
goes
click below.
Click below in the
we can put it in there.
Right here.
And we do. We're on a lot of different platforms, including YouTube and Spotify.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. You can watch or listen. You don't have to actually look at our faces if you don't want to.
You know you want to see this.
What would be a good way to find these links and things like that?
So currently the best way to find it is our social media. So Facebook, Instagram, stuff like that.
Okay.
Coming up, though, we're actually making a full-on landing page for the podcast that will have an RSS feed that you guys can click on and download it yourself, or it'll have all the links to all the different platforms that we use.
Well, my.
Are we going to do promo pictures?
we can do promo pictures.
Sweet.
So send in your comments for what
yeah,
you'd like
let
to
us
see in the
know.
promo pictures.
Let us know
Just
how
tell
or
me,
what.
onesie.
Yeah. What position you want us to take the promo
So
pictures
obviously
in.
we take ourselves very seriously here with this podcast and what we do. So did we get through our comments and questions?
I think we did.
We can move on to our topic of the evening. Though how's our time
halfway
running,
through,
sir? We're doing good. So we can talk about our topic tonight,
Sure.
which we want to talk a little bit about handlebar install. It's one of the most common things we do on the Harley-Davidsons, and it seems to be one of the informationally oversimplified things to do the Harleys, if that's a good way to put it, because we hear constantly, hey, I got these 14, 16-inch bars or whatever, and I just want to pop them on my bike. And they just get a set of bars. There are numerous other things that need to be addressed. First and foremost, what year model are you on? Because that changes drastically the other things that have to go along with that handlebar install, including parts, the labor involved. So having that discussion with your parts counter, your service writer, if you can find a tech somewhere, ask those questions so we can really get it established. Harley-Davidson.com has a really nice handlebar fitment guide if you're ever looking up one of their handlebars, and it will at least point you in the direction of the other items needed to put that specific set on your specific bike. Because just the variation from, like, say, a 2013 Road Glide to a 2016 Road Glide to a 2022 Road Glide. In my head, I'm already thinking, okay, I know which bars fit that one, but not that one, and then that one, and this one you need that clutch line, this one needs a clutch hose, this one needs an upper. There's just numerous things, not to mention all the wiring changes.
Yes.
ABS.
Yes, it doesn't have ABS.
ABS.
Oh, because oh my God, does that add on some price when it's got ABS? Because you've got to run
Upper
lower lines
lines,
potentially,
lower
or
lines.
split motors. We've come up with ways to try to make it more economical if you're looking to go that route. However, I am not a fan of some of the aftermarket sites that say, hell yeah, you can wedge that giant bar on your bike. All you got to do is relocate all your brake lines and stretch them like a banjo or keep them outside no, we're not doing any of that stuff.
Nope.
I don't want a bike that only works going straight.
Exactly.
I mean-
We are professionals and we like to keep it that way.
Exactly.
You gotta be safe, and routing your brake line in the wrong spot, getting pinched, or your clutch cable is just a bad idea.
How have you guys had to install many of the pre-wired aftermarket
I
bars?
don't hate them.
Really? Ooh, controversy.
Clearly touring bikes because
Yeah.
they're hand controls. The thing I don't like is when people order the pre-wired ones but don't get the twist grip sensor wiring.
That's even an option?
Yes.
How is that pre-wired if there's not all the wires?
Because it's not. They
Yes.
pre-wire the right wiring and don't put it. So you got to pull it all out, put the twist grip in, and run it all back through.
So it's actually more expensive to do that
It's
one.
I don't actually charge extra to pull the wire out, but
Okay, so Chris is a chump, so if you do it wrong, he'll do it for not charging, apparently.
or I'm fair.
Oh, you're fair. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Or right ear
That's the big one.
pre-wiring.
Right
I just did a set of handlebars pre-wired that were the wrong year for the twist grip sensor, so I had to pull all that wiring
no.
to send in the correct year.
He actually had a
wiring.
twist grip wiring in there. They ordered that correctly.
But it had the wrong
It was wrong
connector?
connector.
Wrong connectors, wrong wires.
Yeah, they changed that, in
like
17 or something? They changed. Well, they
That's
changed it.
17.
They changed it
It
a
went
few
to the
times.
tiny one in 17, but back in 14 Harley decided to switch the male
14
and female
was the
connectors.
Rushmore. Everything
They
changed.
switched the male and female connectors. Thank you, Harley.
Yeah, just for fun. They like to keep us guessing. So, yeah,
But it is a great accessory to add onto your motorcycle.
it's a super common one.
It's a very super common one. The best bet is to come up to the dealership, ask questions.
Yep.
The more questions you ask, the easier it's going to be on everyone.
We actually have, especially like with Harley stuff, it's all there. You can see it online. You see all the parts that fit. Real easy. But obviously, if you want some more variety, we've got a collection of photos and parts options of bars already installed on other bikes from aftermarket suppliers out there as well. So if you know there's a specific bar that Harley doesn't make that another company does, we may actually have info on that where you see the photos of it on an existing bike and know what it takes to put that together and go into it going, oh, okay, that was a $300 bar. I'm going to get in and out of here for $400. And no, the reality is when all's said and done, you could have some serious work and parts investment on it to get it to work correctly.
Hey, Chris, what's the most common thing missed when installing handlebars?
I'm going to go with polyurethane bushings.
Okay.
Oh, what do tell? What do those do?
Those are, all your handlebar bushings, most handlebars have rubber bushings to go between the handlebar and the riser that they bolt to. And the Harley ones come with a just normal rubber one, just like if you're a car guy, rubber bushings on your car. It can be upgraded to polyurethane. Same thing. They're much stiffer, last longer. They're just much better quality product, and you won't have that big wiggle in your handlebars.
Yeah.
As long as they're torqued correctly, which is also another problem that people overlook.
Because you got to think, the taller the bar is, the more leverage on that bar, and that's how they move so easily. So even if when we end up pinning risers or using some of the aftermarket riser covers that have the set screws in it to drill those down, because the last thing you want when you're running your super cool 18-inch tall bars is hit a speed bump and they pop down on you. So you got to think about all that leverage when you've got handlebars on there. Now, flip side of that, popular right now, cafe style, low end clip-on style. If you had 10 extra miles of hoses and wires, technically it can still work, but
it's a mess.
It's a mess. You can't always hide it.
It doesn't look clean.
No, and you'll end up catching it on something. It's additional leaks. The wiring's everywhere. So cleaning it up to fit correctly is important. So again, if you want it to look like the finished product was intended to be that way, do it right. Get the right parts. Talk to the experts, have the experts do the installs, whatever it is, to make sure it's all working correctly. That would be here we go. Chime in. Go ahead. You want to.
Well, I was going to say another thing that's popular right now that I always find hilarious because you don't think there's going to be an issue with it is risers.
Right. Well, they want to go T-bar. And we have a lot of the T-bar style.
California style.
Yeah, on the road glides, man. Oh boy, the cheap way is you drill through that fairing and do it, which it works. You can't really see your gauges.
See your radio,
anymore.
you can't see your gauges.
There's companies out there that make a nice T-bar
for
a
quality product.
Yeah, they're doing. Do we get in trouble if we actually use their name? Okay, voice in the back says it's okay. Kraus has those that whole new, I think it's the Wolf Pack kit or something, and that's the one. It's got it comes with a whole new top triple tree too,
and you pay for quality when it comes to that.
Yeah, this isn't cheap stuff, but man, it works, and it's got it actually makes it so your bars are relocated correctly. I think they even got the clock fix figured out.
The ignition
fixed, little things you don't think about when you're doing those, and this is the stuff we get because it's always disappointing to me. I'm sure as you guys, when a customer brings in something or they buy something from us, like, man, this is gonna be great, and we go, this isn't going to work the way you think, or it's going to be really shoddy when we're done. We don't feel right doing it. And honestly, I'd rather have you upset with us that we didn't do something that we knew was not going to work well than do it and take your money and go, yeah, we don't care. You got a problem now. Exactly. I can't stand that. I'd much rather give you a product that works. And at least that's my thought.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I agree. And back to the bars a little bit one more time. The one thing I have found on bars, if you get the right set of bars, even if you go bigger or whatever, you will have better control of your motorcycle. I used to have buckhorns in my Springer. Horrible. Hated it. Put my 10-inch risers on there. Love them. I feel more comfortable on the motorcycle.
But it's very personal, don't you think?
It is.
Okay, yeah.
But I have also found that people with trikes, when they go away from the stock bars, and even just go up 2 inches because of the more leverage with a trike, since you're not leaning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes it easier to ride. I personally feel, and it's very personal. But that's me.
You ride a two-wheeler, you steer a trike.
Yes.
So it is a lot.
When the bars are a little bigger, a little wider apart, it makes it a little easier to ride.
Well, that makes sense.
And last but not least, let's not forget the grips.
Everyone does.
Anytime you buy a set of handlebars, buy a set of grips with it.
Oh yeah,
it's the perfect time to upgrade your grips.
Yeah. We don't charge any labor to install grips if you're doing with a set of handlebars.
Right, you got to do it anyway. And if you were thinking about heated grips, it's a good time to do it. There is a slight upcharge in labor to do it because there's some wiring to do, possibly some extension, and depending on the year model, there's variations. But doing handlebars, great time to put heated grips on the bike. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but we just shifted from summer to winter, on Monday?
Well, we'll be back to spring next week, though.
Yeah, I know, but it'll come back around. So we get our week or so in of winter, and then you'll need your heated grips for a minute.
Texas and South Texas.
Yeah. Or just buy a Pan America and they come with them.
See, you did it again, man. You went right back to it. I'm not gonna bring up how awesome the Pan America is, how wonderful it is to ride, how it has all these features. They're gonna hate us. They're gonna hate us. But that's all right. That's all right.
They can get their own show.
So if you all out there in the world have had experience with a certain handlebar manufacturer or a setup that you think works, I'd love to hear those comments too, because we're always learning. Master Tech, in my opinion, is kind of a misnomer. You never stop learning this industry. Everything changes, everything gets new, and we want to learn with you and also sharing this, and that's what this is all about. So we really thank you guys for even tuning in, listen to this, listen on the podcast, send those comments in, and we hope that we can visit with you more soon.
See you later.
Bye-bye.